Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Renuka bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring to you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment, and more. The headlines. Home Minister Amit Shah launches Vibrant Villages program in Kibitu of Arunachal Pradesh. Says no one can encroach upon Indian territory. India and Vietnam discuss bilateral relations, ways to strengthen comprehensive strategic partnership. Number of Indian startups grew 300 times in last 9 years, informs country's Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. India advises social media platforms to ensure digital safety of women, youth and children. United States Air Force and Indian Air Force engage in COPE India fighter training exercise. In Afghanistan, Taliban bans restaurant gardens for families, women in Herat province. Israel inks $400 million defense deal with Greece to sell Spike anti-tank missiles. Bahrain reaffirms its support for Palestinian cause and establish an independent state. And China ends military drills around Taiwan after practicing precision strikes. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Monday said India's policy is clear and we want peace, but no one can encroach an inch of our land. He said there will be no compromise with the respect of our borders and security forces. Mr. Shah said this after launching the Vibrant Villages program in Kibitu village in Anjor district in Arunachal Pradesh.
सभी बहनों को रोजगारी मिले, इसके लिए भारत के सबसे पहले गांव पर सीमा के सबसे पहले गांव तक रोजगारी पहुंचाने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार ने किया है। और मोदी जी अब जो वाइब्रेंट विलेज कार्यक्रम लेकर आए हैं, इसका पहला हिस्सा 662 गांवों में और 46 ब्लॉकों में शुरू होगा। 1,82,000 की आबादी इसकी लाभार्थी होगी।
The Home Minister said that security of the border is the security of the nation, and keeping this in view, Narendra Modi government has given top priority to develop the infrastructure of the international borders of the country. He said the entire country can sleep peacefully in their homes today because of ITBP Jawans and Army who is working day and night on our borders, and we can proudly say that no one has the power to cast an evil eye on us.
आज पूरा देश निश्चिंत होकर सो रहा है, चाहे हमारी किसी भी सीमा हो, अरुणाचल का प्रदेश हो, लद्दाख का प्रदेश हो, कश्मीर हो या कोई भी प्रदेश हो, हम निश्चिंत होकर देश के मध्य भाग में, देश के उत्तरी भाग में सो रहे हैं। इसका कारण हमारे हिमवीर आईटीबीपी के जवान और हमारी थल सेना का पराक्रम और उनका त्याग और बलिदान है।
Addressing the public, Mr. Shah said that before 2014, whole northeast region was considered as a disturbed and problematic region because of the wrong policies of the then central government. But in only 9 years, with Narendra Modi's vision of Look East policy, NE is today seen differently as is known as one of the region contribution for the development of the country. He said that in this short period, over 8,000 extremists of the region have surrendered. He said in comparison to 2014, in 2022 there is 66% decrease in violence, 60% decrease in security forces, and 83% decrease in civilian casualties. He said today all the problems and insurgency in the region is ending under PM Modi's leadership. Speaking on the Vibrant Village program, the Home Minister said that the program will be implemented in 19 districts, 46 blocks and 2,963 villages across the country. In the first phase, 11 districts, 23 blocks and 1,451 villages will be included with a cost of 4,800 crore rupees. Mr. Shah said that this program will solve the problems of all the villages of the northern border where there is a danger of population migration to other places. He said that under the Vibrant Village program, government will ensure all the government schemes are 100% implemented in these villages, thus making sure all the basic amenities are available for the people like good infrastructure, connectivity, education, health and mainly employment opportunities. Vietnamese Public Security Minister To Lam called on Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankar at latter's residence in New Delhi on Monday. In a tweet, the Vice President informed that both of them discussed the significance of strengthening India-Vietnam Comprehensive Strategic Partnership and the broad domain of security. India and Vietnam emphasized the significance of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, UN clause, and reiterated their commitment to resolving any disputes in accordance with international law, rejecting threats and unilateral actions that alter the status quo. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval held a delegation-level meeting on bilateral security cooperation with the Vietnamese Public Security Minister To Lam in New Delhi on Monday. In the meeting, both the leaders reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership and improving strategic security and defense ties to maintain peace, prosperity, and stability in their countries, the region, and the world. In a joint statement, they informed that both the countries have also agreed to strengthen ongoing cooperation in exchanges, capacity building, and training of officials from the Ministry of Public Security of Vietnam. The leaders further reaffirmed the importance of maintaining and promoting peace, stability, maritime safety and security, and freedom of navigation and overflight in the Indo-Pacific region. Both the leaders also exchanged views on recent developments in their respective regions. Exercise Scope India 23 has started between the Indian Air Force and the United States Air Force on Monday. This 11-day exercise is being held at Panagarh, Kalaikunda and Agra Air Force stations. The exercise aims at enhancing mutual understanding between the two air forces and sharing their best practices. In the exercise, C-13-0J, C-17, MC-13-0J aircrafts are participating. External Affairs Minister of India Dr. S. Jaishankar has reached Uganda. He was received by Foreign Minister General J.J. Odongo and Minister of Defence and Veterans Affairs Vincent Sintija. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said that he is hopeful regarding the discussions to take forward South-South cooperation. The minister is on an official visit to Uganda and Mozambique from Monday till 15th of this month. During his visit to Uganda, Dr. Jaishankar will inaugurate the transit campus of the National Forensic Science University, NFSU, in Jinja. The External Affairs Ministry informed that a bilateral MOU between both the countries on setting up of the first ever campus of NFSU outside India is also likely to be signed during the visit. The minister will participate in the groundbreaking ceremony of a solar-powered water supply project and address the trade and business community of Uganda. He will also interact with the Indian diaspora there. India's Minister of State for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, on Monday said the number of startups in the country have grown by 300 times over the last 9 years. Speaking at the National Innovation Awards in New Delhi, Dr. Singh said that as compared to 350 startups in 2014, now the country has more than 90,000 startups with over 100 unicorns. Dr. Singh also praised the National Innovation Award winners, saying they demonstrated that there is no linkage between formal education and innovation capabilities. Women and Child Development Minister of India, Smriti Irani, has emphasized on the digital safety for users, including women and children, on all social media platforms. She said it is the hour of the need to become more conscious for women's digital safety because their image is being established negatively in this digital era. Mrs. Irani was addressing the Digital Suraksha Summit organized by Meta in New Delhi on Monday. Highlighting the fake accounts on social media platforms, the minister said that there should be a mechanism in place to identify the fake accounts and remove that. She said that all stakeholders, including parents, academic institutions, and civil society, should be taken on board to make a comprehensive digital safety policy for the children. In today's Hotspot section, we bring to you a news commentary on India-Bhutan ties on the upswing.
India and Bhutan share a unique and time-tested bilateral relationship characterized by utmost trust, goodwill and mutual understanding. The special relationship has been sustained by a tradition of regular high-level visits and dialogues between the two countries. The government of India has consistently supported the socio-economic development of Bhutan. Diplomatic relations between India and Bhutan were established in 1968 with the establishment of a special office of India in Thimphu. The basic framework of India-Bhutan bilateral relations is the Treaty of Friendship and Cooperation signed in 1949 between the two countries and revised in February 2007. The golden jubilee of the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between India and Bhutan were celebrated in the year 2018. Hydropower cooperation between the two countries is an example of win-win cooperation. India has been extending economic assistance to Bhutan's socio-economic development since the early 1960s when Bhutan launched its 5-year plans. India continues to be the principal development partner of Bhutan. For the 12th 5-year plan, India's contribution of 4,500 crore rupees constitutes 73% of Bhutan's total external grant component. The key areas of focus of the Government of India's assistance include agriculture and irrigation development, information and communication technology, health, industrial development, road transport, energy, civil aviation, urban development, human resource development, capacity building, scholarship, education and culture. Mutually beneficial hydropower cooperation with Bhutan forms the core of bilateral economic cooperation. For Bhutan, hydropower development continues to be a vital catalyst for socio-economic development. The King of Bhutan, Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, paid an official visit to India last week. He was accompanied by Leonpo Dr. Thandi Dorji, Minister of Foreign Affairs and External Trade, and senior officials of the royal government of Bhutan. The visit of the King of Bhutan was in keeping with the long-standing tradition of regular high-level exchanges between the two countries. During the visit, the King of Bhutan met with the President of India and the Prime Minister. The External Affairs Minister and senior officials also called on him. The visit provided an opportunity for both sides to review the entire gamut of bilateral cooperation and to further advance the close bilateral partnership, including economic and development cooperation. Welcoming the King of Bhutan to India, President Draupadi Murmu said that India and Bhutan enjoy a close partnership at all levels based on mutual trust, goodwill and understanding. She added that India deeply values a multifaceted and unique partnership with Bhutan. She said, as Bhutan's largest development partner, India is proud to support projects in Bhutan in sectors like health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, digitization and skill development. She assured that India's development partnership would continue to be guided by the priorities and aspirations of Bhutan. The President noted that this year Bhutan is set to graduate from the least developed country LDC category and embark on the path towards becoming a high-income economy. She said that India would remain a reliable partner of Bhutan on this journey. President Murmu noted that India and Bhutan are collaborating on fintech, startups and emerging technology fronts. She said the two countries should expand the ambit of this collaboration to properly utilize the energy and potential of our youth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the King of Bhutan in their discussions covered the entire gamut of bilateral cooperation, including issues of respective national interests. The proposed rail link project between Kokrajhar in Assam and Gelepu in Bhutan would be expedited. This would be the first ever rail link between the two countries. Besides the exemplary and unique relationship that India and Bhutan have, both countries also have a time-tested framework of security cooperation, and as part of that, both countries maintain a long-standing tradition of very close consultations on matters relating to their mutual interests, including security. Prime Minister Modi said New Delhi would closely work with Thimphu in all spheres, and the bilateral ties in the coming days are expected to reach newer heights.
This is All India Radio giving you the world news. Japanese ambassador to Bangladesh, Iwama Kiminori, has expressed the hope that Bangladesh will play a vital role in materializing the new vision of free and open Indo-Pacific (FOIP) as enumerated by Prime Minister Kishida Fumio in March during his visit to India. Speaking on the occasion of the port visit to Chattogram by the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, Ambassador Iwama said that the port visit was a practical cooperation between Japan and Bangladesh to realize the FOIP for ensuring a rule-based international order to bring stability and prosperity for every country as well as to secure peace and prosperity in the region. Reiterating the FOIP announced by Prime Minister Kishida in March, he said principles for peace and rules for prosperity, addressing the challenges in an Indo-Pacific way, multi-layered connectivity and ensuring secure and safe use of sea, to the air were the 4 pillars of the new vision. Ambassador Iwama further said Japan focuses on development of an industrial value chain connecting the Bay of Bengal and northeastern region of India. It is a concrete example of the 3rd pillar of multi-layered connectivity as outlined by Prime Minister Kishida. He emphasized the importance of further strengthening connectivity in the Bay of Bengal region, including Chattogram. Speakers at a 2-day seminar organized in Dhaka on Monday urged the government to declare April the 10th as the Republic Day of Bangladesh. The 2-day seminar titled The Proclamation of Independence, 10th of April 1971 and the Birth of a Sovereign Nation was addressed by several eminent people including Barrister Tania Amir, former High Commission of India to Bangladesh Veena Sikri, 1971 War Veteran Brigadier R.P. Singh and Dr. Tawfiq-e-Ilahi Chaudhry, Power and Energy Advisor to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, among others. On 10th of April 1971, a proclamation of independence was issued by the Provisional Government of Bangladesh from its headquarters in Kolkata after ratifying the Declaration of Independence given by Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman on 26th of March, just before his arrest by the Pakistan Army. Subsequently, the Provisional Government of Bangladesh took oath on 17th of April 1971 at Mujibnagar with Sheikh Mujibur Rahman designated as President, Sayyid Nazrul Islam as Vice President and Tajuddin Ahmad as the Prime Minister. Barrister Tania Amir in her welcome address said that the Proclamation of Independence helped Bangladesh rightfully claim its position as an independent nation without being called a secessionist movement like Biafra in Nigeria. She also gave a call for the trial of the Pakistanis for a war crime for committing genocide in Bangladesh during 1971 Liberation War. Eminent historian Professor Syed Anwar Hussain also called upon the government to declare 10th of April as the Republic Day of Bangladesh as it marked the birth of Bangladesh in a legal term. In Afghanistan, the Taliban have barred entry of families and women into restaurants with gardens or green spaces in Herat province. The decision came after religious clerics complained of mixing genders in such places. Afghan officials say the curbs have been brought in place because of gender mixing or because women allegedly are not wearing the hijab. So far, the ban is applicable to restaurants with the green spaces in the Herat province only. This is yet another restriction on Afghani women since the Taliban took power in August 2021. The Taliban have already shut girls out of classrooms beyond the 6th grade and women from universities. Women have also been barred from the most types of employment, including jobs at the United Nations. They are also banned from public spaces such as parks and gyms. Entry of children into online gaming arcades has also been barred due to alleged unsuitable content. Israel on Monday said that it signed a $400 million deal with Greece to sell Spike anti-tank missiles. Israel's defense minister said the agreement reinforces ties between the countries. The Spike is a guided anti-tank missile used by many European Union and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO countries. Israel's Israeli state-owned defense contractor Rafael produces these missiles. Rafael CEO Yoav Har-Ivan said that the Spike missiles will strengthen the Greek army's portfolio. Israel's deal with Greece comes days after reaching a similar-sized deal to provide air defense system David Sling to Finland. Finland has recently joined the NATO. Bahrain has affirmed its support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people. It said that under the leadership of King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, Bahrain always declares its firm position towards the Palestinian cause. Bahrain said that it supports the Palestinians' right to establish their independent state in accordance with the two-state solution, the principles of international law, and the Arab Peace Initiative. The statement was made by Bahrain's Speaker of Parliament, Ahmed bin Salman Al Musallam. Mr. Al Musallam recently participated in an emergency meeting of the Conference of the Councils of the Member States of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, to discuss the situation of the Palestinian cause. Al-Musallam also called for more international Islamic parliamentary efforts to adopt international positions to stop the attacks and violations, protect Al-Aqsa Mosque and establish an international agreement to criminalize religious, sectarian and racist hate speech in all its forms. He also praised the stances of Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Morocco and all countries and people supporting the Palestinian cause. China on Monday concluded its 3-day-long military drills around Taiwan. Beijing said in a statement that it tested integrated military capabilities under actual combat conditions as its army practiced precision strikes and blockading the island. China began the drills on Saturday after Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen returned to Taipei following a meeting with U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The Chinese military said its troops in the theater are ready to fight anytime, resolutely crushing any form of Taiwan independence, separatism and foreign interference. On the other hand, Taiwan responded to Beijing's announcement by saying it would never relax its efforts to strengthen combat readiness and would closely monitor China's missile forces and the movements of the Shandong aircraft carrier. Amid soaring tension between China and Taiwan, Japan stressed on Monday the importance of peace in the Taiwanese Strait during a meeting of senior Japanese and Chinese officials. The talks between China and Japan focused on concerns over disputed waters in the East China Sea. Tokyo also urged Beijing to stop its Coast Guard ships from entering Japanese waters, adding that it was deeply concerned about Beijing's military activity near Japan and its coordination with Russia. Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno said that the importance of peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait is not only important for the security of Japan, but also for the stability of the international community as a whole. The U.S. Navy said that its guided missile destroyer USS Milius conducted a navigational rights and freedoms mission in the South China Sea near the Spratly Islands on Monday. It said the operation by the destroyer was consistent with international law. The Navy said at the conclusion of the operation, USS Milius exited the excessive claim area and continued operations in the South China Sea. The announcement came as China's military simulated precision strikes against Taiwan in military drills around the island amid growing tensions between China and the U.S. In the United States, 5 people were killed and 8 others were wounded in a shooting attack on Monday at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky. While the local police confirmed the attack, it is yet to divulge more details. The police also confirmed that the shooter was dead, but it's unclear whether the death toll of 5 included the shooter. The police described the shooter as either a current or former employee of the bank. At least 2 police officers were among the 8 wounded. 2 of the wounded, including one of the officers, were in critical condition at a hospital. According to reports, police were still trying to determine whether the shooter shot himself or was shot by police. Police said they responded within minutes to reports of an attacker at a branch of the Old National Bank near Slugger Field Baseball Stadium in the city's downtown. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear was emotional when he said he knew victims in the attack. Mass shootings have become recurrent in the United States. So far this year, the United States has experienced 146 mass shootings. The Russian Defense Ministry has said that a depot containing around 70,000 tons of fuel destroyed near the southeastern Ukrainian city of Zaporizhia on Monday. It said the Russian forces had also destroyed Ukraine army warehouses storing missiles, ammunition and other artillery weapons in the Zaporizhia and Donetsk region. Meanwhile, Ukrainian authorities said on Sunday at least 3 people were killed and 5 others injured after Russian forces struck a residential building in Zaporizhia. In France, at least 6 people have been killed and 9 others were injured in an avalanche in Alps on Sunday. The incident happened in the middle of the day at the Amosset Glacier at the altitude of around 3,500 meters. Among the victims was a couple in their 20s, a 39-year-old woman and a man in his early 40s who was probably her partner, and 2 guides, local prosecutor Caline Bosset, and the avalanche was caused by a slab of snow detaching from the top of the mountain, according to Jean Le Mathel, an official of the nearby Contamine-Mourja village. French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin said the 4 caught in the avalanche were skiing in the mountains. The French President Emmanuel Macron said that rescue workers were continuing to search. The expert said that avalanche activity could increase in coming years because of climate change. Key domestic stocks ended almost flat with marginal gains amid mixed global cues on Monday. A report from the business desk.
The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange rose 14 points or 0.2% to close at 59,847. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange advanced 25 points or 0.14% to settle at 17,624. The Asian market ended mixed. South Korea's Kospi Index rose 0.9%, while Japan's Nikkei 225 gained 0.4%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng gained 0.3%. However, China's Shanghai Composite Index declined 0.4%, and Singapore's Straits Times Index fell 0.2%. European markets were trading in positive territory in intraday trade. Oil prices steadied after rising for 3 straight weeks as looming supply cuts from OPEC Plus producers balanced concern about weakening global growth that may dampen fuel demand. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at around $85.20 per barrel. Back home, gold price at multi-commodity exchange for June contracts was trading at around 60,408 rupees per 10 grams. Silver was trading at around 74,940 rupees per kilogram for May contract. This is Lalema Aneja Dang for World News, All India Radio.
In IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants were 171 for 5 in 15 overs, while chasing a target of 213 runs set by Royal Challengers Bangalore at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore. Earlier, Lucknow Super Giants won the toss and asked Royal Challengers Bangalore to bat first. Bangalore scored 212 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. For Royal Challengers Bangalore, Virat Kohli scored 61 runs off 44 balls, while captain Faf du Plessis slammed 79 runs in just 46 balls. Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. The Guardian writes, Fox News settles with Venezuelan over election voter rigging claims. The New York Times reports China sentences leading rights activists to 14 and 12 years in prison. The Globe and Mail reports Bank of Canada expected to hold interest rates steady despite resilient economy. The Financial Times writes Biden administration vows to fight Texas judges ruling on abortion bill. The Wall Street Journal reports Ukraine may run out of air defenses by May as per leaked Pentagon documents. The Straits Times reports Philippine military bases with U.S. access won't be used for offensive action, says Marcos. Le Monde writes, drinking water in France extensively polluted by banned pesticide. The Business Recorder writes, Pakistan says IMF agreement to be inked soon. And Japan Times reports new Bank of Japan governor says ultra-easy policy will remain in place. And now a quick look at the headlines once again. Home Minister Amit Shah launches Vibrant Villages program in Kibitu of Arunachal Pradesh, says no one can encroach upon Indian territory. India and Vietnam discuss bilateral relations, ways to strengthen comprehensive strategic partnership. Number of Indian startups grew 300 times in last 9 years, informs country's Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. India advises social media platforms to ensure digital safety of women, youth and children. United States Air Force and Indian Air Force engage in COPE India fighter training exercise. In Afghanistan, Taliban bans restaurant garden for family women in Herat province. Israel inks $400 billion defense deal with Greece to sell Spike anti-tank missiles. Bahrain reaffirms its support for Palestinian cause and establish an independent state. And China ends military drills around Taiwan after practicing precision strikes. And now before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnava Jan, by artists from Denmark.
Vaishnava Jan tu tene kahiye पीड़ पराई जाने रे सकल लोग ना सहुले बंदे निंदा न करे कहने रे बात का मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी.
And with that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.